28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What do you got to eat? Here, guys. What's this say? I don't know. What's that say? I know, but I'm not gonna tell. I think it says it's good.
Conjecture Hoops contains all the presumptions, assumptions, and off-the-wall postulations a growing kid needs. Conjecture Hoops, a big bowl of bullshit. Saturday morning cartoons.
Now at night time.
Mostly conjecture based on little knowledge.
Please welcome Max Headshrew, Dell, Ari Blackness, and your most gracious host, Ben Motherfucking Jackson. Applause. Applause. Applause.
Hey!
I've just noticed the thumbnail. Is that Stallone? We've gone for that.
No.
It is Judge Minty, isn't it?
No. I just found a cosplay of yeah, let's just check it out in all its glory. I found a
Say cosplay or codpiece?
Wow.
You blanked out a bit there.
it was a cod piece. Dredd's cod piece.
No, see,
Okay.
now I've got to do
That's-
this all over again.
Judge Box.
If he was real, the chin would be that big.
Yeah.
It's not random, the placement of the different cameras or the different squares.
I apologize.
You know why they're this way? Max is in the middle, so he
There's a
can go like
hierarchy,
this.
I'd say.
Max is in the middle, so he can go like this with the background, right?
Oh, nice.
Buddha and I are on either side of Max because I represent his mustache and Buddha represents his beard. You know what that means?
Interesting.
So what are we, the
And,
testicle brothers?
We're the furry bollocks.
Well, you're the fairy
I'm
box,
the
also
bellend.
known as, AKA the bargain bin.
I thought a beard was some sort of magic marriage of convenience thing for closeted gay people.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, well, in that sense, it's someone who has a girlfriend just to throw people off the trail that he's gay. So he's
Yeah.
an in the closet gay person.
I've never heard that.
It's a rude way to refer to his
You know,
wife.
in Britain we say in the cupboard.
No, but it's the woman. It's the woman in that situation. Is the beard?
Yes, I'm throwing off the sense of Max's heterosexuality.
Max,
And I appreciate that
Telephone.
massively. Yeah.
Max
Because of
Telephone.
you, Buddha, no one knows Max is gay.
It isn't gay.
No, the beard. Now you haven't understood it all, have you, Buddha?
No, I haven't. No,
The
explain to me
beard-
the beard.
Okay, suppose, for argument's sake, the Max were gay, right? That would mean that his wife is his beard, right?
Yes.
One grows a beard to appear more masculine and hide the fact that he's gay. Similarly, one marries a woman so that people don't guess that you're actually gay. That's what a beard is.
Hmm.
I'm so confused. Is this coming up later when we talk about Judge Dredd?
But I'm not understanding how I am Max's beard.
Also, is Max gay or isn't Max gay? I don't know anymore.
I think it's something to do with the fact that
That's
you
for me
have
to
a
know
beard.
and for you to find out.
It's a matter of
Down a dark alley.
Yeah.
It depends on what you mean by is.
I tried to go straight into Dredd talk, but it's,
no. Because we talked about what was that sci-fi show with the Hobbit guy, with the Bilbo actor. You know what I'm
sci-fi
talking about.
show.
We did it was an English sitcom about a nerd that likes sci-fi.
So
Spaced.
Yes.
So Spaced, the guy has a mustache and a beard, right? A goatee, if you will.
I know what he's saying. Yeah.
And he's a mix of the two other characters he interacts with. One of whom has a mustache, one of whom has a beard.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike has his moustache, and Brian has his little beard. And
Buddha, you need to know the lore of your own TV show.
Yeah.
Well, Simon Pegg wasn't the Hobbit though,
wasn't he? I thought he played Bilbo.
Martin Freeman played Bilbo.
Oh yeah. See, in my mind, Simon Pegg and
Freeman
Martin
rocks.
Freeman are the same person.
You ever seen them in the same room?
The short English guy. That's okay.
You ever seen them in the same room?
There's a very different individuals in my mind, but you do you, Ben.
Me too.
That's
Me
'cause
too.
you're-
I could see why an American
English.
would put those two in the same category.
Yeah, for Americans, Brits all look alike, right? God,
Right.
that's so racist.
We just
Well,
I
we've got
differentiate them by height, right? So those two are about the same.
Have you seen The World's End? Because they're both in that. Did you watch that and go, well, why is he playing two different parts in this
Yeah, I
one?
thought
It's,
he was like stood in front of a mirror or something.
He's versatile. Give him that.
So yeah, I don't think you can see them because I don't know shit about setting up light and cameras. But
No, I totally see them. Make you big.
I have some Judge Dredds behind me.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ooh.
You got the Eagle Comics versions, right? Yeah, the Quality Comics and Eagle Comics. Yeah.
Yeah, they're basically the same thing. Those are the ones that were imported to Colombia via the United States.
Are they English or Spanish?
Those are English, but you
Right.
can find them more easily in Spanish.
Right. Yeah.
And those would be reprints of
Actually, one of
2000
them-
AD stories.
One of them is
They would
Spanish.
collect them. They would collect the
One-
stories and maybe I think the usual 2000 AD. Sorry for interrupting. Is about 9 pages or 6 pages, something like that. So they collect a load of them and bung them in one of those like Quality Comics or Eagle Comics versions. So you get like about 3 weeks worth of one story in one month.
Let me ask a question. You guys, Judge Dredd was coming out in 2000 AD, right? So it would be part of a magazine containing other stories. Also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are
Then there's also Judge Dredd magazine as well.
Yeah.
which
Okay.
is purely just Judge Dredd. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is that.
So here's the thing. Why does issue 2 of 2000 AD very often do you have to pay more for it on eBay than issue 1?
Maybe there are more copies printed of issue 1.
Is it
Could
because a character was introduced in issue 2?
It could be, Max.
Is that character Dredd?
It well is.
What you fucking hell?
Wow.
Yeah. No, that's. Yeah, I didn't know if Ben knew that. So yeah,
didn't know
2000
that.
AD is an anthology comic.
Yeah.
And I think apart from issue 1, Dredd has been in pretty much every issue. There may have been like the odd issue where he was dropped for like a writer's strike or artist strike or something. But like
So
I
you
think
said-
he's been pretty much in every issue.
Virtually every issue has featured Judge Dredd.
Yeah, apart from issue 1.
Interesting.
Okay.
Dredd
Why?
is-
What do you know that I don't?
No, that just gives me a really good idea.
Oh, okay.
It's a satirical, dark satirical look at what Brits thought America might turn out in the apocalyptic future. Right?
And they weren't wrong.
Yeah, isn't that happening like right now?
Oh, but if
pretty
you were
much
one
there.
of the judges, though, if you were just the judge, right?
Mm.
Better to rule in hell or something.
Than to serve in heaven.
Yeah,
go
on,
ahead.
bud.
I was gonna say, if you read Paradise Lost as like a primer, and then you read Judge Dredd, it reads a lot differently.
That's a hell of a reading list. Get through.
Okay.
Did you know the RoboCop script was originally written as a Judge Dredd script?
I did know that.
Really?
Yeah, they are very similar characters, and they use the same quotes as well.
Yes, because I have to
they call everyone creep.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Judge Dredd say, "I need oiling."
No, I've not necessarily heard.
Well, he's not a robot, though, right?
He's a cyborg, yeah.
For a greeting.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me. That's a Dredd quote as well.
Dead or alive.
I mean, the helmet, you know.
The helmet even looks like, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It heavily.
I've got a factoid about the helmet for later.
Yeah,
but that's for later. Us.
The city, the New York City that they live in is pretty close to Mega City as well. It's especially in the original RoboCop film. It's on its way to being
Detroit.
Detroit, that's it. Yeah, it's on its way to being desolate and overrun by criminals, which is why they introduced RoboCop, right?
Yeah,
exactly. It's the same premise, really.
Yeah, exactly the same.
Yeah, it was disappointing, the Sly Stallone film, because I thought there was a couple of good trial runs for the Judge Dredd movie. First being the first RoboCop movie.
Yeah.
I think that's the one that made audiences sit up and go, "Oh wow, a Judge Dredd movie done this way could work."
Yeah.
And then 12 months prior to the Judge Dredd movie coming out, of course, Demolition Man comes out.
Yeah.
That very much has that satirical edge to it.
Yeah.
That sort of undercurrent of dark black comedy satirical humor smuggled into what looks like just a generic Sly Stallone sci-fi action movie. And then when they announced Stallone was going to be Judge Dredd, I think a lot of fans were on board, like, great, let's mix up RoboCop with Demolition Man and see what we get. And for some reason, the actual movie just didn't work.
Demolition Man had some decent predictions of the future, because he basically goes to sleep and then wakes up and has to deal with a world of the woke, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's woke. He's not even allowed to wipe his ass and swear, like, because everyone gets offended.
That movie, I think,
he's not allowed to have sex.
Yeah, he's not like, sex is banned. Yeah,
I think that movie is superior to Idiocracy.
Idiocracy is brilliant. Yeah,
but
I've never seen Idiocracy.
That also made a prediction.
Yes,
that came true, and that was Crocs, wasn't it?
Crocs.
Well,
they wanted a shoe that was like no idiot would wear.
Yeah,
and they became popular because of the show, because of the movie.
There were a lot of things in that movie that came true.
Yeah.
I mean, that was basically Donald Trump. I know he wasn't a black bodybuilder, but he was basically a black body. What's that actor's name? I can never remember.
The guy who plays Terry in Brooklyn 911.
I know what you mean. Terry Crews.
Yeah.
Terry Crews.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, Donald Trump and Terry Crews is the same person as president.
You never seen them in the same room.
They represent the same. They represent the same. I can't tell the difference between them. I just go by height. Terry Crews is a little bit taller than Donald Trump. But they have the same energy. It's just the alpha male, fuck you energy. There he is.
Wow.
One's coming out for Dredd.
It's like the old days, bro.
I had to.
The lineup almost matches the intro today.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, are you guys more into the comic books or the movies of Judge Dredd?
The comics for sure.
Both, but probably more the comics. But I really enjoyed the most recent Dredd movie. I thought that was fucking excellent.
Yeah, I'd say my
too.
fandom of Dredd it mainly stems from the last film. Which I think was one of my favorite films of the last 10 years.
Did you not watch? Did you not read the comics before the film? Or...
I've read some comics.
Yeah, get this right.
And enjoyed them.
Not only was this the first, this is my first ever introduction to Dredd, and the first time I read a comic that wasn't for children, like the Beano and stuff. And my mum bought me this in 1991.
Nice.
The Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
And I took this to primary school, and because I am dyslexic, for ages, I've said this before, I kept referring to him as George Dredd.
Right.
Oh man. Oh bless.
I didn't really understand the premise. I just really like the artwork.
I think
that
is amazing.
Yeah.
The helmet. It's the best helmet ever.
Yeah, it's fucking brilliant.
That's what she said.
They fucked the helmet. They fuck up the helmet in the Stallone movie as well.
Well,
they
for
miss
a
out
start,
the cross,
he takes
man.
it
You need
off.
the cross. Yeah.
He takes it off. Like, why
Yeah,
did he
yeah.
take it off?
They didn't want it to look like an iron cross. Some people said the helmet, looked like a Nazi symbol.
They were obviously missing the point.
It's such. I watched some clips of it before the show just to sort of recruit my memory. It's such a bizarre approach to making a film, and like because some of the set pieces and some of the practical effects are fucking brilliant. Like the Mean Machine is spot on. Like the dude that he finds in the desert that's like a cyborg. There's a big one of the ABC robots that's in it, and that's perfect as well. The bikes are they look good until they start moving, and you can see all the bits of plastic sort of wobble. But it looks great, and it's got all this great.
The director was a genuine fan, and he was a British guy, and he knew the law
right
well. But he was 20. I think he was 24, and it was his second movie, and he just got crushed by the Hollywood system, who came in and said, "No, you can't make a film where Stallone never shows his face from start to finish."
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of inherent in the plot. I mean, he would have had to have shown his face at some point because he gets
kind of like
he's de-judged.
Kind of like
but his uniform.
That's was that Arya
with some clever aesthetical.
Nobody ever lets Arya talk.
Oh, I didn't even realize Arya was talking. Please, Arya, go ahead.
He's just polite, man, and I'm not. That's the difference.
I was just agreeing with Buddha. That's like I was just continuing his thought. That's the opportunity, isn't it? Like you work into the plot. That would have been wicked.
Yeah.
There is a
whole half of a film without seeing Stallone's face. Apparently, you couldn't do that in '95.
That's
ridiculous. But in the comic book, they have done stories where he's been demasked, and you draw it in such a way you just never see his face. If you were a clever aesthetical director, you could shoot it that way. Like he's always in shadow, or he's one of them. He's on the cursed earth, and you don't realise it's Dredd till the end, but he's wearing a hat, and the hat always covers the front of his face.
I can imagine him in the judge's uniform and a trilby.
No, he hasn't got the uniform on. He's just like, he looks like a nomad, so he hasn't got the big shoulder pads.
Mr. Stallone, we have a part for you, but we never show your face. No. Gotta show my face in the movie. All right. Well, if you want,
this is the money right here.
We can make you someone else in the movie, and that way you show your face. It's like, no, I want to be the main character. All right, but the main character of this movie never shows his face. No, I gotta show my face. All right, well,
and those negotiations went on for 3 years.
They're still having that negotiation.
Yeah.
Apologies to the Americans in the room, but Brits, do you remember Spitting Image where they had like Sylvester Stallone? It was always completely incoherent.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Stallone. Yeah, we can do that. Oh
He
yeah,
wasn't-
yeah,
this
okay,
is
with
it.
buttons on as well.
This is it. He's got like when the shots of him with the helmet. He's got the perfect profile and like lower jaw, and like I could probably forgive. I could forgive the accent. Like he would have been a decent choice. Apparently, there's another script out there that they wrote for Arnold Schwarzenegger to play it, and it's way more violent. So they were going after both of them for the part. I would
Total
really
Recall
like to
again. That was like another forerunner. I think when a lot of people saw Total Recall, and it was really violent, but again with same director as RoboCop, so it has that. Paul Verhoeven should have made the Judge Dredd movie. He would have totally got that right balance of extreme violence and blackly comic humor and gross out humor that you need for Judge Dredd.
The adverts that the trailers and the commercials that you see in both RoboCop and Total Recall are exactly the sort of things that you'd see in the comic of Judge Dredd, like this hyperbolic satirical look at American advertising or American commerce or propaganda, because he does it in Starship Troopers as well, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you going to do your part?
The block names.
They're all stamping on the books.
No. The block names in Judge Dredd, like they live in Mega City 1, and there are these different blocks. The story I chose for today's program was Block Mania, which is a precursor to the Apocalypse War. And it's just been such a long time since I've really like sat down and read any Dredd, and it's brilliant. And there were always names of different city blocks. Each city block probably houses, I think, like 100,000 people. Yeah, and some of those block names are like there's Frank Zappa block.
Yeah,
so they're named after famous people pretty much of the time that you're reading it. Now, that was 1981 when Blockmania came out. But there were some names, and I'm thinking to myself,
there's definitely a Tom Cruise block. Tom Cruise block.
I've got some in my. I did my homework today, and I'll show it later, and see if you know all the names. Right,
Rob, do you remember the name of the block
That sounds fun.
in the recent Dredd movie?
I don't.
It's called Peach Trees.
It's what?
It's called Peach Trees.
Is that the daughter of Bob Geldof?
That's good. That's a good one, Rob. I like that.
No, I'm not being serious because I know her name is Peaches.
No, it's not. It's named after a restaurant that what's his name? The guy who basically directed it, who wrote it. English guy. He did 28 Days Later.
Oh, Alex Garland.
Alex Garland. Garland, and I forget the guy who wrote it with. They wrote it in a little cafe or a little restaurant called Peach Trees.
Nice.
And it's in Shropshire.
Okay.
And which is where I went there for part of my honeymoon with my wife.
Just because it was in the Dredd movie.
Yeah.
You star. Your wife loves you, right?
She's just a beard, remember?
Just a beard, yeah. She loves me, yeah.
Does she like Dredd as well?
She loves it, yeah.
She was supposed to be on today.
She's not very well. She's going to come on.
Let's hope she's feeling better.
Yeah, she'll be.
While we're talking about people off screen, shall we wish Monica a happy birthday?
Ooh,
it's her birthday
idea.
today.
Happy birthday, Monica!
Yeah, Monica! Happy birthday! Right. That was a showstopper. Right. So yeah.
What about
the block names? All the block names. And thing is, so some of these block names, obviously, you like the younger kids wouldn't know who these people are now because they are of that time. Sure. But it's just crazy that they chose these names, and sometimes you can tell the author or the artist, what their musical bent is, because of course they choose artists that they like for
Sure.
particular blocks.
What would it be now? You've got to have a Kardashian block,
Like,
right?
yeah, we have like a huge hump out the back.
Yeah.
I think there would be a Kardashian one for sure.
You'd have a Paul block
But-
for the Logan Paul brothers.
Jerry Garcia
yeah.
block.
Yeah.
No, you'd have a Logan block and a Jake block.
Yeah.
Jake block. Jake block, motherfucker. That's Jake block. And then people from Jake block would be really like gangster. They would be like, Jake block, man. You know what I mean?
Or,
Like,
who's that influencer who's just been prosecuted for human trafficking and
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
Oh yeah.
It'd be a Tate block, yeah.
Tate block.
They'd all be red. They'd all be like red pillars.
Yeah.
Ben,
I'm
Women
gonna
are
ask
fucking
you.
whores.
Ben, I've got a question for you. Who was Pancho Villa?
Yeah. Pancho Villa?
Yeah, Pancho Villa.
I
yeah.
think that was that a Mexican revolutionary?
Correct.
Yeah.
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 Because
black
in
name, that's
Blockmania, there's a Pancho Villa. Okay, Villa, but Pancho Villa block. Ah.
That's really funny. But that's cool.
So
yeah,
what's-
of course there would be.
Yeah.
recently
What stories did the
read
rest
a-
of you read?
I recently read a one-off Dredd story. It was about a year, maybe 2 years ago, and they tried to be sort of politically controversial, and I think it sort of blew up in their faces a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And the cover for the story was Dredd kissing another man.
No.
Yeah. So
No, his chin would get in the way.
Yeah. It was another guy sucking his chin.
His beard.
His beard, yeah. but the story, it just turns out that like you think you're following Judge Dredd into a gay bar where he gets off with someone, and then you realise it's a guy that's got a fetish for the law, so he goes to sex bars and dresses up as Judge Dredd. And the moment that he's kissing another man, the actual Dredd turns up and arrests him for being gay, essentially.
Yeah. What is that called?
One of the classic stories.
Yeah.
What is that called
No.
when somebody impersonates a judge? They have a name for that. They have like Judge Dredd. They have like a whole lot of language for different things that you see.
I don't remember. I don't recall.
Anyone? A jimp.
I don't remember either.
A chimp. Why a
A
chimp?
judge impersonator.
Judge impersonator.
Richtig.
Yeah.
And what is the classic judge name for a criminal?
Perp.
Richtig. Yeah, perps.
Perps.
Yeah, perpetrators. Yeah.
And
Perps
It's a
down
slur.
on Pancho Villa
Yeah.
Boulevard. Yeah.
It's a slur designed to stigmatize criminals, as if there was
Yeah.
anything wrong with being a criminal.
and fuck is drock, isn't it?
Drock. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Grud or the Crud? Grud. Yeah, Grud knows. Like God knows, Grud knows.
Yeah, good nose, yeah.
Yeah.
So
'Cause you can't say God in a class.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
is God good, or have they?
Maybe Grud's fuck and drock is shit.
I mean, when you,
Okay.
I don't know if it's got a
It's
bearing,
like-
but like,
Yeah,
You're
is
saying
there
fuck
a
no.
religion that follows Grud?
I don't know.
oh right,
Dredd.
yeah, that rings a bell.
Didn't we do a game about this on the bargain bin, Rob? You translated a bunch of
That was
2018
more,
crap.
yeah, but that was more from, damn it, from Tharg the Mighty.
Yeah,
Tharg the
yeah,
Mighty
yeah.
was like the editor of 2000
Yeah.
AD, the anthology comic, right? And
that gives me another idea.
And he has his own like because he's from Beetlejuice. They have like Beetlejuice language, and you know like Dex what is it? Dexter Thargo is like a friend of Tharg. Yeah. So basically, what was it? We had like a mix and match kind of card game, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah,
We
I always
played the
like
same game.
that idea in the Judge Dredd 2000 AD comics where the readers would write in and then Tharg would reply in character.
Yeah. Did you ever write in?
I didn't. No, I didn't.
No, I did once. I wrote and I submitted a strip, but because I was like young and stupid, I didn't make a photocopy of the original. Basically, I drew a Judge Dredd strip, like a one-pager, with the Colin Baker Doctor Who, and he parks in a no parking. He parks a TARDIS in a no parking zone, and he gets arrested. And then the final panel is a Time Lord doing time.
That is such a Rob concept. Like,
yeah, it is, isn't it?
Hit the nail on the head with that one.
Well, I'm glad you recognize that I did it. I don't know what that means, but
well, in the comics in the 80s, you would get these crossovers from TV
well, there was
into
licensing.
I think,
and I didn't understand.
You'd have the
that,
Crankies turn up in the Beano and things like that.
Oh,
yeah,
God, yeah, Big Daddy and Buster.
So you could easily have Doctor Who in the Judge Dredd world.
Well, you could, but you'd have to have him as a you'd have to be some kind of generic character that's not really Judge Dredd. It would be someone similar enough that people would be able to recognize it. Well, it would be Dr.
George Dredd.
George Dredd. That's right.
No, but yeah, I love the comics.
So, what did you?
Oh, did you freeze?
Go ahead.
No, I thought you wanted to say something. What did you? I heard. What did you?
No, I was just gonna say, like, what did you want to show us from today's?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Did you have a book you wanted to go through?
Yeah, I got something. All right. So hang on a sec. Hopefully you'll like this. But I want to give other people the chance to talk, of course, because I don't know if Aria, did you read anything for today's show, Judge Dredd related?
Who, me?
No, Aria. Oh, he's gone. I mentioned his name and he buggered off. What's going on there?
Buddha's gone as well.
Yeah, damn. What about you, Del? Do you know much about Judge Dredd, the comic character?
No, not the comic character at all, man. Just the movie. And like it was like a really bizarre movie the first time I watched it, and I watched it again.
Which one, Carl Urban or Stallone?
The Stallone version.
Right.
It's one of those things where it's like when I watched it again as an adult, it was kind of reminded me a lot of Waterworld. I don't know if you ever watched that movie. Where it's like that like. So my friend, he was really big into Judge Dredd, like the comics, and he thought he was like one of the coolest characters. And he explained to me like the world, how like post nuclear and everybody lives in these blocks, and then these judges are like badasses. They go around and instead of like hanging behind a freaking huge, behind a chair, they're like the judge, jury, and executioner all in one, and they go around in like these cool motorcycles and just shoot people. And he explained it way better than to me than anybody else did. So I was like, oh man, that sounds cool, because I was like, yeah, I remember seeing Judge Dredd like as a kid, just because Sylvester Stallone, I was a huge like fan of the Rocky movies. So it's like one of those things where like you like a character actor in one movie, you're pretty much going to try to watch any other movie that he makes. Absolutely. And so I watched Judge Dredd as a kid, but I really didn't get it. And then as I was older, I was watching it. It was like my friend explained it because he had read the comics and he was really into the lore. He explained it way better than the movie kind of did. And I got that feeling where it's like, I feel this was like a Waterworld, where it's like, it's such a good concept and like the high idea of it, but they spend a lot of time trying to explain to you like how the judicial system works now and like how people are now in the world, and they were trying to like world build. It's definitely I don't want to call it a cult classic because it wasn't like terrible, but the comics, from what my buddies told me, like pretty much everything you guys are talking about now is like how passionate he is about Judge Dredd. So I had to show up in this episode just because you know, he would appreciate me being in here and learning more about this character.
Nice.
Judge Dredd rules.
Yeah.
It sounds pretty dope. Like the whole concept and everything. I've in the past I've watched movies where they broke down the comics and everything. Like a bunch of videos and stuff like that. Like way back when I tried rewatching it. And like the comic book character sounds way cooler than the movie. I didn't even see the new one. I didn't know.
Oh, the new one is brilliant. The new one is excellent.
For some reason, it's like when you said that. When you said there was a new one, I was like, wait, yeah, there was a new one. And I think that's probably the reason why my buddy brought it up to me. Like, how long ago did that new one come out?
2012.
About 10 years ago?
10 years ago.
Yes. So that makes sense because it was one of my buddies in the Navy that was talking to me about it. And that's probably why it we were even talking about it to begin with. And but yeah, I thought it was just cool. And like honestly, like back then I remember when I was first trying to like write my own comic or just trying to come up with ideas. I remember taking a few notes from the few of the videos and stuff my buddy was kind of trying to help me come up with some world building. And a lot of the notes that and ideas I took were from Judge Dredd without even having read the comics. Like I tried to watch, so I went back to watch the movie, and I was just like, yeah, like I think I would appreciate this more if I had actually read the comics because I can see what they're trying to do in this movie, and it's really not deliver. I can feel like not even having read the comics that I was like, man, it's one of those movies where you're like, damn, if they only really like could actually explain this, it's gonna take time. And back then there wasn't series weren't a big deal. I think Judge Dredd would be a dope series.
They were talking about doing a one series
because like Waterworld would be a dope series to make too.
I agree.
It's just Waterworld is too like you have to take so much time introducing casuals into world, and like really what series have done is that it's able to let casuals catch up by watching like the first season. And then you can catch up with everybody else in the hype in the second season versus just one movie where it's like I missed the bus on the last movie.
I'm
in a post-Mandalorian world, I think audiences will be far more accepting of an entire series of a character.
Yeah,
and you never see their face.
And it's funny you say that because it's like the whole thing of what's his face, Pascal not showing his face. When you guys started mentioning that about Stallone's face, I was thinking about it. Pascal making demands for his face to be shown, and it's like he doesn't have as much weight as the movie stars back then, right? Sylvester Stallone having all that weight. It's like, dude, I am like the money maker here, and I'm what's gonna drive people to. Yeah, well, I mean that's what it was. And you guys mentioned Arnold Schwarzenegger trying to go for the part. I've heard a bunch of stories about those two competing for roles, and Judge Dredd was one of those roles that I've heard that they were both neck and neck, and Sylvester landed it. So when I was rewatching that movie, as an adult, I was just trying to imagine how like because both of their accents is like I'm trying to imagine like an Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it might have worked.
I'm sure there's a deep fake of it somewhere.
That would be good to see.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Someone because the script exists, like, and apparently it's like it's a way more violent movie because the sort of two areas that Stallone and Arnie took up in the 80s and 90s were two. They had their own brand of action, and Arnold's was always way more brutal and gory than
Command. Yeah, I would say because like there was like Commando, then there was Rambo.
Right, and in Commando, he's like chopping people's arms off with a saw, like fucking mowing down hundreds of people. And in Rambo, it's sort of more realistic, isn't it?
Yeah,
like that sure.
For sure.
Well, I was talking about this yesterday. Like, if you watch the first Rambo film, it's an oddly bloodless film. Like, he captures a lot of people. But,
Rambo's pretty realistic. You could you could see everything in Rambo happening in real life.
Yeah, but every kill in that is either it's just self-defense or he won't kill them. He'll just tie them up in a tree. Whereas
it's a different
Arnie would go in guns a-blazing.
Yeah, Arnie would murder a very, very minor character in a minimal fist fight. They just fight, and then especially in Total Recall, they just get your head. Do you remember the bit where they try and
through people's heads? Yeah.
It's just a bunch of doctors that are trying to do his work, and he escapes, but like he could just beat them up clearly. and he fucking horrendously murders all of them. He sticks a bar through someone's head.
That is the Arnie
way. Lobotomizes
it is the Arnie way.
Oh yeah.
So what I'm hearing is there's a disagreement.
Yeah, I've seen.
So you're saying
never
Max, Max, you're saying there's some discrepancy between different philosophies of Judge Dredd, or of actors. I mean, like you've got your Schwarzenegger who kills people. You got your Arnold, your Stallone who doesn't.
Yeah, and because of that, like the studio, because they were trying to poach both of them for the role, they wrote 2 separate scripts.
Right.
And
to not go against their
because sort of brand,
because it's always a different character they're playing, a different name, but it's always the same person as far as their values and their morals and even their personality.
Yeah, that's right.
So I got a question for you guys, right? Like since like Arnie and Stone were like the 2 action heroes battling for parts back then, what if like somebody like The Rock would have played Judge Dredd?
I could see that happening at one point as well.
Because you know how The Rock always plays the same type of person as well in every.
It's the same kind of thing. It's very similar. Yeah, The Rock is like the new generation of Stallone.
Yeah.
There's an American comedian who takes like different films and he deep fakes Arnold Schwarzenegger in them.
Yes,
there's one scene.
Yeah, I've seen them all over the show.
Yeah, and there's this one scene where he does Kate Winslet in Titanic. Look at my boobies, Jack.
That's so nice.
He's in Napoleon Dynamite, Step Brothers. Him and Stallone in Step Brothers.
I gotta see him in Step Brothers.
Joe Goddard.
Home Alone as well.
That's the guy's name.
Someone sent me those memes. I haven't seen them.
Oh, they're brilliant.
I feel like I'm missing out.
His name's Joe Goddard on Instagram. Like GAUDET, I think. Yeah. Who's sharing this now?
So speaking of different moral compasses, we have this. Yeah, we have this clash of philosophies between Judge Dredd and Batman in this story because Batman operates according to his intrinsic sense of right and wrong, which for him is transcendent, and Judge Dredd operates within what's legal and what is illegal. So they're both. So it's like chaotic good versus lawful good. You know,
prescriptive good. I mean, when you think about it, the argument about what's legal and what's not legal comes up again and again, because when you think back 200 years, slavery was legal. Right. So whoever creates the law, there's a difference between moral and, what the rules that somebody's written down that you have to abide by.
I think the premise is like the way my buddy explained Dredd was like, because he actually had I don't know if you've seen this comic with the Batman versus Judge Dredd, but
this comic rules.
Yeah, this is like art wise. This is like my favorite Judge.
He's probably read this and was.
Is it Bisley?
Yeah, like art wise, this is illustrated by Simon Bisley.
Yeah.
Oh, where's that one helmet shot? Yeah, look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Come on.
The artwork.
Come on.
Yeah. They
That's Judge Dredd having an orgasm, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dredd.
I'm dreading.
I've just started the mean machine.
Stroke my helmet.
That sounded like a Dalek.
His helmet is really phallic, isn't it?
Yeah, which is what we want.
It's shaped like my penis, you know.
Yeah, so it's like he's essentially authoritarian, isn't he? So it's an authoritarian versus a vigilante.
Yeah, I was gonna say so my buddies mentioned how like the absence of a moral compass, right? Like Batman has a moral compass and he operates of whatever his moral compass tells him is right or wrong, while Dredd, like you said, it's black and white. There's the law and then there's not the law.
Yeah.
And there's no moral compass there. It's just all morality is based off of law. Yeah.
Well, he's slavishly dedicated to the law, and
exactly. He lets someone else.
morality of the people who made these laws.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would say he has a moral compass, but it's prescriptive,
Yeah.
meaning it's someone else's imposed on him.
Yeah. Check out the lighting on that. Like, first of all, you look at it, you think, oh, it's a good picture. But then you look at it in more detail and look at the way the light goes through the visor and lights up. Wow.
Yeah. Really
that
good.
Isn't that incredible?
Hang on a second. I just want to look at that picture again. And okay, I'm done.
How big on the screen?
I'm done.
So it's all right.
Rob made it
really good coloring in that.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
it's fucking amazing. It's the Bisley's a fucking genius. Him and Bill Sienkiewicz are amazing sort of traditional artists.
Yeah.
Do they use pastels?
They Bisley uses anything. I don't know if you've ever seen Bisley work, but the guy he's just got brass balls, man. He'll like have
and he uses them.
Yeah, he's got like I've seen one. He's got like he's holding a tin of curry with a fork in it, with a fag in his mouth, and a beer in his office, and he just grabs any old piece of paper and just starts drawing on it with pen. It's only like a 10-minute video, and by the end of it, it's like a fucking masterpiece. And he's chatting all the way through it as well. The dude's incredible.
Wow.
So
I want to see that video.
wondering,
Send me the link to that later. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah.
So there's this character, Mean Machine, who's kind of like this lower level villain. The main villain is Judge Death, I think is he called, right? Judge Death.
Yeah.
So you 2000 AD nerds, is this a character just written for this story, or is this a existing character?
No. Just Mean Machine comes in. He's one of the 4 Freak brothers, isn't he?
Yeah,
and,
Mean Machine turns up in the Stallone movie.
And basically,
he's
like
really
a favorite, so he turns up again and again. So not just in this story.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So then they pick the best 2 villains then for Judge
Mean
Dredd.
Machine's just like a thick. He's just like a stupid thug. But
he's a fighter.
Yeah, but
he's just a hard fucking fight. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's from
the
cursed earth. He lives there with his sort of redneck interbred family that are
How do you like? I see. And how do you like Bisley's take on the Batman Rogues Gallery?
Look at
that
splash. I love that. Is that? I was always confused by, is that Catman on the far right?
I think that's supposed to be Man-Bat.
No, because he's got whiskers.
Oh
yeah, the cat down here, yeah. Because Catwoman's on the left.
I thought you were talking about Man-Bat up there in the. Is that supposed to be Man-Bat? The one on Joker's
Google
hair?
it because I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah, that's Man-Bat.
The one on the Joker's hair.
Which one's Man-Bat?
Is that Man-Bat the one on Joker's hair that's coming off of his hair?
Yeah,
where is it?
Yeah, it is.
I think so. He almost looks like a Green Goblin kind of thing or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But who's the one next to it? Looks like Humpty Dumpty.
Clayface.
I think that's Clayface. Yeah. I think that's Clayface.
Humpty Dumpty.
But you know
Humpty Dumpty would be a good Batman character.
You know who's really missing, unfortunately, is Two-Face. That would have made this a full set, and the Riddler, I guess.
Did Bisley ever do a solo Batman story?
He did. He did this one, and I know he did. It was one called Batman Black and White,
and Scarecrow.
But it was an odd story because it was at the end you sort of it's essentially Batman and Joker having a conversation, but by the end you find out that they're actors playing the roles of these 2 characters. So I suppose it's not really a proper Batman story.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with it. I would just say like if a proper Batman story would be a story following Batman.
Because it's not actually about the same person.
Yeah, and I feel like because he draws in a certain way, DC might have given him a story that's like that to suit his artwork because his artwork is crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know how they would feel about him doing a serious Batman comic. I'd love to see it. I think he'd do it really well. I don't know why they don't get more of these sorts of artists to do Batman. He's perfect for it.
I don't know why his Robin reminds me of like the Willie Ames Robin.
Right. The original.
Yeah, it gets a very like just the face and the look and everything. It's like everybody else has got these dramatic looks on their faces.
Yeah, that's it. He overdoes this. So he's overdone the boy and the boy wonder, and he's overdone the nose on the penguin. Look at the fucking size of his nose. That would be ridiculous if that was actually in a film.
Damn you had me eye out.
You know what's interesting that I'm noticing only for the first time is that the Joker's mouth, he's got fangs in it, almost like vampiric. And you have to notice the association if you look long enough, because Man-Bat has the same mouth and the same kind of teeth. So it's a sort of, you might even say subliminal messaging about the duality and yin-yang aspect of the Joker and Batman.
Right. But I've looked through this book many times. It's incredible.
Yeah, this is big time.
Visually, it's incredible.
Big time.
Man-Bat was a character in his own right. Did he have his own books, or did he just appear in Batman as some kind of a nemesis?
He was a nemesis for Batman.
Right. Was he ever in the comics?
I think
so.
He wasn't. Man-Bat wasn't always the same person.
No,
was it?
So I mean, like, because like he's the first episode of the animated series. Right. So I'm wondering if like comics he came out in the comics after, or if he was done like before the animated.
I'm sure
series.
he was in there before the series.
Okay. So I don't really remember.
Well.
Stan Lee did a run where he basically wrote. He was given DC characters to rewrite as if they were Marvel characters, and his Batman was basically Man-Bat. It was a Batman.
So I'm wondering. So wait, he did it under DC, under the DC.
He did it with the. It was like a crossover project that they did in the maybe in the 90s. But I don't know if he's responsible.
Referenced in Mallrats.
Because that's what I'm wondering. If, like,
DC
that was
crossover.
Was that before or after? Because Man-Bat was the first episode of the animated series, which aired in like 93 or 92.
Right. Maybe after.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe after. I think I tend to think that the original Man-Bat was in the comics.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but that's what I think.
I'm pretty sure he was, because it was a thematic. It was a treasure trove of thematic ideas to write stories about, because basically the Man-Bat versus Batman dynamic is a reminder that this is a good guy and he's only pretending to be spooky and evil, right? But really he's human and in control of himself, right? But then the Man-Bat would be the flip, like the formula is all wrong. There's too much gin and not enough tonic water, right? And then for the Man-Bat character, he's really not in control. And
I just did a quick googly R, and it was this said its first appearance was 1970.
Oh,
so,
wow!
Yeah. So somebody thought about it like kind of late in the game, because it's just like
because there's also
because what Ben just said, and I'm wondering if I wonder if somebody thought about that when they started creating these villains earlier.
The other thing with Man-Bat is that you can sort of reproduce sightings that people would attribute to Batman. I think that was the sort of conceit of the animated series episode, because Man-Bat does all this bad stuff and people falsely assume that it's Batman, right? And they're like, "Oh, fuck Batman." But I would be really surprised if that wasn't part of a comic book. But now that I think of it, I don't remember. I don't recall reading that in a comic book.
In the series,
I got 2 points. Go on then. Go on, Max.
You go, Rob.
All right, so I got 2 points. Here's the first thing. Like, I remember in The Big Bang Theory, they were talking about Man-Bat versus Batman, as if Man-Bat didn't kind of exist. And I'm thinking, well, that was way late, because obviously he does exist. My next point is, in this picture, why is it you got Peter Gabriel doing Darth Vader in Return of the Jedi in the top right-hand corner?
Peter Gabriel doing Darth Vader.
Have you not seen the Peter Gabriel photo with
Yeah. The album
mouth
cover
organ?
where he's melting. Yeah.
All right then. So who is that character in the top right-hand corner?
I think it's Clayface.
Yeah, Clayface.
Oh,
It's I'm gonna say that's a terrible Clayface.
It could really be anyone, right? It's just an egg. Like
Zoom in on it, Rob.
The bad guy.
Oh, it's not mine. It's Ben's.
Oh, sorry. Zoom in on it, Ben.
Make it big.
I like that.
It looks like what Sloth
looks like
from
the
the
Goonies.
Goonies.
Yeah.
Sloth. Hey, you guys.
Well, I'm assuming that his face in every panel, his face would look different, you know, because his face is moving all the time, right? Because he's made of clay.
Hey, you Batman villain guy.
It's Sylvester Stallone. It's Sylvester Stallone.
It is. He's saying, I am the law.
If we could maybe team up, join forces, and that way we could defeat the Batman. You know?
It's really good, man. It's really good.
Thanks. Okay, I'm really curious about this now because now that I'm seeing it close, this is freaking me out. I think this is some kind of Batman Catwoman combination freaky thing. Because this is not a real character, right? What the fuck is this?
No idea who that
This is Catman, which is a real character, but
Yeah, but I just googled Catman and he looks way different.
yeah, he doesn't have the big ears going on. He's got little ones, and I don't know. Maybe he's just busy freestyling.
He's freestyling, but he's freestyling a mashup of Catwoman and Batman, dude.
It is odd, isn't it?
Let me go out.
He's probably got one space left on the page to fill and doesn't know who to put on there. So he's like, I'll just. He's eating curry at the time and smoking a cigarette, and he just.
That's good. That's good.
Either I've had way too much of the drugs, or I think this is some kind of like projection of Catwoman's of like the ideal man, because she like flirts with Batman and hooks up with him, and in some versions they're like an official couple for a little while, and then it's always when they really get to know each other that they're like, nah, fuck you, because Catwoman is just sort of projecting onto Batman what she wishes that he was, which is herself with a dick, right? So this character here, this is basically Batman for all intents and purposes, right? It's the same face and it's the same mask, but he's got whiskers and her same ears. Am I crazy, or do you have a better theory?
That's a good write-up there.
It's a good idea. Catman and Batwoman, but Batwoman's already a thing. So
exactly.
Or it was supposed to be Man-Bat and he messed up and was like, fuck. And then just threw the whiskers in there.
He was doing Catwoman and then he put a beard and he was like, oh shit.
Well, he started off on the top and was like, damn, this looks like a cat. Shit.
Well, I'm assuming all this is in Batman's psyche, right? So maybe he just accidentally thought about Catman.
Maybe.
And he was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Because
we're in Batman's brain.
What is that?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Whoa.
He's imagining himself as Catwoman?
Well, Batman's non-binary, so.
A bit of the old, what do you call that?
That person to you.
Gynophilia?
That person to you.
Autogynophilia? You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Doesn't Judge Death turn up in this as well?
This is so cool. Look at all this. Yeah, Judge Death is the primary antagonist. There he is.
Who's that bottom character right there? It says weird.
Which one?
Oh, that's the chick. Never mind.
Oh yeah. Look at the size of his chin there.
That's the chick. Yeah.
I like the way he does Anderson's hair. Really
I like
cool.
that POV though is kind of weird.
What, looking up his nose?
This one?
Yeah, it's like all that crazy stuff we're talking about what's going on in Batman's head, and you.
Yeah.
If you ever need to draw a drug sequence or like a drug trip in a comic, just read this. This is like the blueprint for it.
Yeah, for sure.
What am I
If they
doing?
did
What's going on?
Dredd
What's
2,
happening?
a
What's
sequel
real?
to the 2012 film, wasn't Judge Dredd going to be the antagonist?
Maybe.
The
I
idea.
think that's a fucking terrible idea though to put him in.
You guys said the new one was good, right? The new Judge Dredd.
The new Judge.
Yeah,
the new
it
Judge
was
Dredd
excellent.
is about
It was
as
good. It
close
was
as a
good.
film to the comics as you're gonna get.
I'm gonna watch it
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
Really, really
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
If you
yeah.
like RoboCop,
Yeah, really good.
You'll.
I love
the original
RoboCop.
one.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you'll
love
fucking love
RoboCop,
Dredd
yeah.
then. It's shot. It looks like it's.
I mean-
shot in the 80s. It's great.
As
Uber
far as
violent synth
Yeah.
synth sound score.
Yeah, it's got a good Clint Eastwood,
yeah.
Dirty Harry feel to it as well.
Yeah.
as far
Howard
as
is a really good Dredd.
as far as the science fiction kind of visuals that you get aesthetically in Judge Dredd, a lot that's largely missing in the movie. But
yeah,
I think
it's all set in one building, isn't it?
Right.
They're
Yeah.
stuck in a mega block, and that was obviously for budgetary reasons because it is
Yeah.
quite a low budget film. But it looks, for what it is, it looks amazing. You just don't
It is
see.
good.
The
Well, then it-
I think
expanse
they
of
they
the
sh-
city.
they shot it in South Africa, so it has
Yeah.
that kind of
Maybe that's why.
scorched earth look to it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's why you guys think it's better because that's why I felt like the first one was just trying to show too much of the world.
Oh,
Maybe.
it's
just a lot.
more than just that. Like it's written for adults.
Yeah.
Okay.
and it's
Alright.
like it's ultra violent. Like I'm sure it's an 18, right?
Yeah, yes.
It is.
The
It
first
is-
one or the
no,
second
it-
one?
The second one.
The second one.
Right.
Like it
Oh,
gets
it might be a 15.
some point
Now
it's
that
like-
is a
it's
play. That is a play
Yeah.
on a classic scene from Judge Dredd, and we'll look at that a little bit later.
Oh, I know.
You
which-
guys,
I
you
know
know
what
which one I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
stare into the fist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Open the fridge, smell the cheese.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Arya.
pretty good.
But no, the Dread film, Dal, is excellent. Really, really good. Very, very adult.
I see why you think Judge
Way
Dredd
more
might
good
be
than
a
that.
terrible idea because that's one of the
Oh,
more
yeah,
of
let's find
science
Judge
fiction
Dredd.
ideas in
Well, he's
Judge
essentially
Dredd,
a
and
Judge
the
Death
film's
is-
very grounded. It almost
Yeah,
feels like
yeah.
it's viable that this could be what society's like in 100 years' time.
Yeah, yeah.
The uniform, it's inspired by the comic, but it's basically just a jumpsuit that they wear. It's a very believable
Yeah.
sort of military police uniform.
I like
He's-
this
he's got
encounter.
allusions to the comic, and the helmet that he wears in it as
What in
well.
the world?
It's got bullet grazes on, and it's slightly cracked,
Yeah.
and it looks like it's been through the ringer. It looks like for a guy who lives the sort of day-to-day life that because it's basically sort of like a die-hard level action, but it's meant to be just another day for Dredd.
Yeah.
And he really gets put through the ringer. He gets shot at one point.
Well, you
Spoilers.
Every day die hard,
Yeah.
What do we think of this
Keep on punching.
this illustration of
Keep on
Scarecrow?
punching.
That is nightmare fuel.
I fucking love this.
Yeah, with the drill, right? Like, imagine
Yeah.
what he gets up to with that thing, right?
Yeah, I really like business.
I could imagine it's not boring.
I like how he's introduced as well, like first all in shadows and stuff. And I love these hats, man. They're so wizardy,
Yeah.
and that's so my thing.
Yeah. So,
Max, you missed
Reminds me a
out,
lot of
Max.
Rokon.
You missed out, Max.
Yeah,
What's
he
that?
looks like Rokon, right?
Well,
It says, you can imagine what he gets up with a drill, and I said, it's not boring.
well, it might be. He might just be drilling a hole in his wall.
Pun intended.
Here's the thing. Like in the past few weeks, Max has got this thing with "It has begun."
I was letting you off, but
It has begun.
I really like this as a story element, to have like this showdown, like clash. We have this clash between two universes, right? And
Yeah.
so not only are the heroes of the universes colliding, so are the villains. You
Yeah.
know, it's like these titans, and they're occupying each other's space in the universe, and they have to be like, no, I'm the bad guy that's going to survive this combination of universes. So it's like, which one is a more pure evil or something like that?
Yeah, sure. Scroll up a bit, Ben, so we can see that top panel.
That Judge Dredd, that Judge Death, is that really Judge Sperm or what?
It's Judge Tapeworm.
Yeah, it's Judge Lower Intestine.
Scroll up here or more?
Yeah, the bit where the panel where Scarecrow's spraying the aerosol.
Oh yeah.
Right. This is why Bisley's ace, right? He manages to like blend like the sort of semi-serious art with like almost Warner Brothers style cartoonism with that massive oversized canvas spray.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. And like you miss things as well because like look at this dude's bottom arm. It's clearly on the wrong way around or something.
Yeah.
On there.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, well, you don't because of the way his artwork is. Like he puts detail in certain areas. It draws your eye to it, so you just stay focused. It's very, very clever.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy,
dude. That looks like an open AI kind of rendering, doesn't it?
It does, dude.
Right.
I want to say he's drawn the top hand was originally the hand facing away, and he's rendered it so it looks like the fingers are curling the wrong way.
Yeah, so this is Bisley for you. If he makes a mistake during when he draws, he just sticks with it because he draws most of the time. He draws in pen, so he just carries on, and that's why he's sort of known for having brass balls, really, because he doesn't over agonize over imperfections.
I guess that's one panel that you're going to look at for maybe 20 seconds, then move on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But his style sort of allows, him to sort of get away with some of these issues. It's great.
It's telling the story and it's giving a visual impression. So
yeah.
So this is
about the mistakes.
Yeah.
This is my favorite Dredd story and the one I read the most and the one I paid the most attention to. I have a few of these quality comics, Eagle comics. So I've read I am familiar with the real Judge Dredd, but who's got something to show me? I'd love to get to know.
If anyone else has anything, otherwise
I read.
It was.
Wait.
It wasn't
Aria?
Gabriel. It was Billy Joel.
Yeah, I got cool stuff.
Yeah, hell yeah!
Woo-hoo.
Let's see Aria's
Make
stuff.
me big. Make me big.
Make him
big.
Make me big because it's real stuff. It's like
hell yeah, dude.
Oh, physical stuff.
So
Aria's got cool shit.
I do have cool shit. I've got a couple of books signed by John Wagner, which are really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got these in London Comic Con. I got some cool signatures. I got Stan Lee's. I got John Wagner's. I got the Blue Power Ranger. If anybody knows him.
Mr. Power Ranger, Mr. Blue.
Which one?
The Billy, the blue one. I totally
forgot. Nice.
David Yost.
The Nerd Power Ranger.
Yeah, the coolest one in my opinion. But the thing is, right? I knew who John Wagner
was. Donatello of the Power Rangers.
Oh yeah, totally.
Wasn't he the gay one?
He's gay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've actually got 3. I don't know where the other one has disappeared to. Maybe hoping I haven't lost it like in the move or whatever. But I've got 3 signed books by John Wagner, and what was really like coincidental was I saw him on the booth. I knew who he was by like the name, and I didn't know he was going to be there. I was like, oh, I got to get his autograph, but I didn't have anything to get signed, and he didn't have anything on the desk either to get signed. So I went to like the vendor next door and was like, do you have anything Judge Dredd? And he was like, yeah, I've got these 3. So I literally just grabbed the 3 copies that cleared him out, and I just went to get them signed.
You actually write those stories.
John said to me, are these from your collection? And I don't know what happened. Like I didn't hear him properly, or like I was just flustered. But I just went, yeah, from my collection, and then I don't know. I just felt bad all day because I told John a lie.
Oh no!
Email him and tell him.
Dude,
here's a retraction from 2012.
Yeah.
I picked up his.
It technically it was your collection. It was just very recent.
It was very recent collection.
I would have just carried on with the rest of my life without another thought.
Could have said something like, "It is now,
bitch."
That would have worked.
It is now. Arya, I swear you've got the coolest comic book stories.
Yeah, I got some good ones. I got a
The
Stan
one-
Lee one, but we'll come back to that another day. That's a good one.
Encounters.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I hope that one day we will hit the bingo combination that is whatever comic book Arya has signed by Stan Lee.
Oh yeah. We'll not let that cat out of the bag at the moment, right?
One day we will discover.
Yeah. So we're gonna play Aria Stan Lee bingo, huh?
Yeah. Is it Spider-Man number 14 with the first ever appearance of no, just kidding. Yeah, so what is this, Rob? Why are you
Oh yeah, because I said Peter Gabriel. It wasn't Peter Gabriel, it's Billy Joel. Okay.
Oh.
All right. So check this out, right? You know, you've seen this picture, you've seen this scene in Malcolm in the Middle, right?
What's the other one?
So these two women, that's Malcolm's mom and some other shopper, they get into like a road rage fight. And like every time I see this, it reminds me of one 2000 AD artist. And I would be freaking amazed if any of you could tell me the name of the artist.
Oh, Rob's got games. Rob came with his homework, yo.
Fuck yo. So, well, and you know what? Right at this time, Max has disappeared. Come on, Max. Right.
Max might know this one.
He might know this one. So, hey, just in case, I'm not. Thing is, all right, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Okay. So, it is. I'm clicking on the wrong
Hold on. When he comes
I'm clicking
back,
on the wrong page.
When he comes back, take it off.
Right. No. Well, no, here's the thing.
What's the thing?
The thing is a character from
John Carpenter.
Yes.
All right.
Here's the thing. Ron Smith.
Yeah.
Now check out. Bollocks!
Oh,
Max! Oh, Max!
What?
Okay, check out this scene. Malcolm in the Middle. You know the scene,
funny.
the road range in the car.
Yeah.
Every time I see this scene, right, it reminds me of a 2000 AD artist.
Why?
Check out this. Ron Smith, he's got these really weird, like, faces that show loads of teeth, and the eyes are always that little bit slanted.
Yeah.
It's like really, really weird. And for years, I would be like, I'm not a great fan, but like I looking through and reading through Blockmania, I'm like, dude, the guy's a fucking genius. It really is good.
Clearly made an impression on you that it was at the forefront of your mind when you saw like a random image on TV.
The teeth,
totally.
is it?
Yeah, so Blockmania, right? It's written by John Wagner, who we know by name, Mike Mahon, Ron Smith, and Steve Dillon and Brian Bollard illustrated the 9 issues, right? The nine parts of the story, and looking through info on Ron Smith today, like, dude, this guy's an absolute star.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. He had like a career that spanned 5 decades.
Right.
I was with DC Thompson, was with IPC, he went freelance. He even went undercover in South Africa.
What?
Yeah. How crazy are they? He went undercover in South Africa to find information on an activist who'd been sending information to one of the British newspapers so he could actually meet up with her.
What a bizarre...
How cool is that? Yeah, totally bizarre. Wow, we should do a show on this guy.
Just on him?
Just on him. All I did was a bit of a Wikipedia search, and I'm like, wow, I never knew anything about him.
Well, what's he done besides Dredd?
Loads of British stuff that you wouldn't know, like Warlord and Hotspur and stuff like that I'm sure the other Brits would know, right? But his style has got like a very, very like he shows a lot of teeth and lots of like tortured faces. No. All right. So what am I showing today? Okay. Okay. This is what I wanted to show you about the helmet, and I think this is Mike Mahon. Mike Mahon. Right?
Oh, you can flip the
Yeah, that bit that's a bit of a shield is a respirator. Did you know that?
I did not, but
I did not know that either. I've just realised.
Yeah. I mean, I'd seen this before, but I'm like, oh god, I'm bringing game today. so
that big triangle bit though.
Yeah.
Where's that?
I have no idea. It must be some kind of material that stretches. Right. That's all I can think of. Yeah. Okay. And notice, when you see the glass, the visor. I mean, the thing is, he's a neo-Nazi, kind of like not a neo-Nazi, but he's like a kind of Nazi. I'm doing my job.
Not
not a neo-Nazi. He's a Nazi lawgiver.
Yeah, he's an authoritarian.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know what? When you see I mean, check out the reflection in the glass. It's always like the same S of the SS, isn't it?
What?
You never saw that? Come on, guys.
No, I never saw that.
I never saw that. You'd have to flip just one of them, though.
You'd have to flip one of them.
But
otherwise, it would be a bit too obvious. Yeah.
So you see, as it is, it's not so obvious. I never noticed it.
So I mean, I just pulled out a few images. Like Ron Smith, who made up, like, he was really prolific when it comes to Judge Dredd. Like, if you read a lot of Judge Dredd, you'll see his style. You see it immediately. And man, like the art is excellent. The art is excellent. The world building. Dell's gone, unfortunately, but like Dredd for world building. Obviously, it's a canon that's built up over time, but it's just an absolute brilliance. Like, what is it? It was huge collaboration that has spanned years and years. Yeah. And I put this one in for Big Buddha.
Which one?
I was on the verge of saying, "Well, I'm making an appearance."
Yeah.
You're killing all those people, Buddha. Look.
Yeah.
Well, that's not very okay. What is the name? Okay, pop quiz. What is the name of the gun? What is the name of the bike?
Lawmaster and Lawgiver.
Which one's which?
The giver is the gun and the master is the bike.
Richtig, correct. Yeah. So, and check out this for plagiarism. That doesn't look familiar at all. Right?
Yeah, you could definitely have a Doctor Who stand-in if they can do that.
These are the voyages of the Starship.
Weather control.
Fascism.
Starship fascism.
All right, so I put in some.
Boldly go where no Nazi has gone before.
I put in some frames
to make
with
illegal what has never been illegal before.
To censor that has not been censored before.
I shoved in some frames with, like different block names, etc. And can you see that? In fact, okay, what is it? Wilco, pod heading for landing, region Buddy Ebsen spiral. Do you know Buddy Ebsen?
No.
I know, I had to look it up. Exactly. It's a guy who played the Tin Man. He was in Beverly Hillbillies. And check this. A few pages later, this is Steve Dillon, by the way. And you can tell Steve Dillon from the profile, right?
Right.
So they've got to make it to the Barnaby Jones overzoom. Who's Barnaby Jones? I don't know. So I Googled.
Is it that Barnaby Jones?
This is the same guy. Barnaby Jones. Yeah, go on.
Did this predict Zoom meetings or something? He's going to have a Zoom with Barnaby Jones?
No, here's the thing. Barnaby Jones, right, is the character played by Buddy Ebsen. He was like a TV detective.
Oh, right. So we've got
yeah. So this is only like I don't know, a few pages later. And when I like, oh, who's okay. Click. Who's Barnaby Jones? I'm like, it made me laugh out loud.
I love that you're like I love that you're getting proper into it, Rob.
I'm proper into it, but like,
those things. This is the way my brain would work. I don't really understand that.
No, I would gloss over it as well. Normally, I would gloss over it as well. But I thought for tonight, I'm definitely going to have a look and see who the hell Barnaby Jones is. And then I find this, and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty difficult.
Because the majority, like that you do it, bro.
Thank you very much. The majority of people would be like me, would do like, I don't know who that is. This is Steve Dillon as well.
Look at the S's on my collar. You can see that it's clearly a Nazi. No, you might be reaching with that eye reflection thing because
I am.
How clever would you have to be?
For context, I would say this: the writer, it did write Judge Dredd as an authoritarian, and there is a storyline where he starts to realize that, right? So that that is the premise. So whether that's included in the design or not.
Yeah.
But are you supposed to sympathize with him or see him as...
No. Well, here's the thing. He's an anti-hero.
Anti-hero, yeah.
Yeah, he's an anti-hero, yeah. He believes he's doing the right thing, and probably maybe doing that is the right thing at the time.
Yeah. If he existed now, he would be a hero, a moral hero.
I think so.
But if he was born into Nazi Germany, he would be a hero to the Third Reich. You know? He'd be a hero in whatever world you threw him in, because
because he would stick to whatever the law was.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I can't remember who said it, but
the morals of that society.
Hit the nail on the head earlier. That he was written as a kind of like a warning against future authoritarian America, right?
Yeah.
But the majority of people who read him, it's always the same thing. It's like Simon and Garfunkel: a man hears what he wants and disregards the rest. So people think that this is a hero, and they treat him like a hero, but really he is the anti-hero.
Yeah. The original concept was Dirty Harry in the future.
Yeah.
Sure.
In the latest film, there's a scene at the beginning where he chases after a perp, and then the perp gets it's like a waitress, and he's using her as a hostage. Do you remember this scene?
Yeah.
And doesn't he shoot her through the hostage?
He shoots the guy in the head, past her head with a flare. But in the original script, he was supposed to just shoot through her.
Yeah.
And I think they pulled. I think that's what John Wagner wanted, but they said that the audience wouldn't.
That would have been abrupt in the
right.
But
Wagner's the creator of Dredd, right? So
right,
that's the sort of Dredd that he envisioned.
Absolutely,
the one that would have sacrificed an innocent just to uphold the law.
Yeah. So,
Rob, you've probably got the answer to this question.
Go on then.
Are there many Dredd stories where part of the story is him breaking the law?
You know what? I think there is, but I couldn't really. I mean,
how is it justified when it happens?
I don't know. You know what? It rings a bell, but I can't really. I think as well. There's one story where he kind of gives himself in for having done something that's not quite correct, but I can't remember. I couldn't name it. I mean, it's a huge canon. It's like well over 1,000 issues, isn't it now?
You watch the end of the film. He breaks
That's
not the law,
awesome.
but the rules.
Yeah,
he
lets Anderson off, right?
Yeah, you think she's a fail because she removed her helmet in the line of duty, and the Dredd character's been established as so by the book all the way through. And then at the end he says she's a pass, and you just get this sense that there's this subversive streak to him, that he will appear to be a lawman and a by the book, but he wants to. He knows that if he lets Anderson pass, there's going to be like this subversive element now in the huge system.
It's almost as if
somebody with morals.
It's almost as if he understood on some level that there was a law above the law of men. You know?
Well, he is like the original movie gets it right. Like he is a clone, and he's cloned.
Yeah, they're all clones. They're all clones,
and he's cloned from a very specific person who had all the qualities of like
proposition, Max.
Yeah, and authority.
Oh yeah, I am. What's his brother's name?
Rico.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, I know. No, I know Rico.
So zoom in on this dude's eyes.
I know. And okay, so I'll zoom on
Rico's from the comics
first. Yeah,
yeah.
There you go. So this storyline appeared in 1981, right? Height of the Cold War, lots of political stuff going on. So this idea of block mania, everyone's contaminated by contaminated water that makes them very aggressive, territorial. This is why he's been infected. Is like, I'm with Rowdy Yates block. Who are you fighting with? Who is Rowdy Yates?
Cheap block.
Who is Rowdy Yates? Anyone? I had to look this up.
No, not Rowdy. No, not Rowdy.
Which film actor that's been mentioned tonight played Rowdy Yates?
Oh, that bloke on the previous slide.
Yeah, the bloke that
Barnaby
knows, the Tin Man guy.
No, it wasn't. It was Clint Eastwood.
Dirty
Harry, who played Dirty Harry. So yeah, Rowdy Yates was a character in Rawhide, played by Clint Eastwood.
Oh yes.
How freaking clever is all this, right?
So everyone from that block just looks like that and has a big chin.
No. But like that, like so. Obviously, this was written by Alan Grant. Now, Aria, you remember the name Alan Grant, right?
Heck yeah, he did. Those other books, what we looked at.
Yeah,
exactly.
Of which I don't remember the name off the top.
Okay,
episode on Alan
we
Grant.
did all that. Yeah.
He did the. I got a good book about him about how to create comics.
Yeah, he passed away fairly recently.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. He did like a whole load of stuff. So this is an Alan Grant story, right? And the Block Mania, the perpetrator of the Block Mania was a Soviet agent. So Block Mania is actually a prelude to the Apocalypse War. Here rendered by Carlos Esquerra.
Yeah.
And I find it crazy that they have like these helmets. Everything that they have in America is kind of like mirrored. And hey, mirrored check it out. They got those. There's
British judges, right, and Egyptian.
Yeah,
judges.
in Britsit. Yeah,
Britsit. Yeah. What, Governor? I'm a judge.
Oh, Governor, I'm a judge. I am. Oh, I am the law.
They all have to uphold the law and sweep chimneys.
I am the law. No, at night time.
Like Dick Van Dyke. Judge Van Dyke.
Judge Van Dyke. That's cool. So, I mean, the whole thing, it goes on for like God knows how many issues.
Is this Carlos Esquerra, the art?
This is Carlos Esquerra. Yeah. I had to include this one. Right, hang on. I gotta. Hang on. Make him big. The first warhead plummets towards South Sector 403. Only months earlier, the sector had been nuked out by Mad Captain Skank. 403 Reclamation Project knew Bob Oppenheimer block, which is humor in, Bob Oppenheimer.
Who's
I don't get it.
Robert Oppenheimer, who helped develop the Manhattan Project, creators of the first nuclear bomb.
Ah, right. Aren't they doing a film
And
about
and then checking this out. Oh no, not again! Boom.
Yeah.
Oh god. So and then I included this. I mean, this is iconic. This is an iconic picture of Judge Dredd, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the one that they mirror in Judgment on Gotham, right? And
Right, they reverse it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There was a guy at one of.
I bought this when it first came out. This issue.
Max, you need to incorporate that line next time you're sparring a kung fu guy.
Gaze into the okay.
Fist into the gaze of.
Consider the gaze gazing.
Fist into the gaze. What?
Fist into the gaze of
into
Dredd.
the gaze of Dredd.
The gaze of Dredd. Is that a movement?
Yeah,
it's a bowel movement.
You're going to find it at the end.
Oh, I hope I never run into the gaze of Dredd.
So that's all I have. That's all I have for you.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff, good. Robert.
Thank you very much.
Gold star.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah. I do like a bit of
the
Dredd.
show is over.
Yeah.
I think the line "fist into the gaze of Dredd" is a showstopper.
Absolutely.
Good night, everyone, and go for.
As we've just seen, drugs make your problems go away. So make it the best day possible. Remember, it's drugs that counts. Take one and take a chance.
Saturday morning cartoons, mostly conjecture based